Hi year 3, please pause the video and check your work. Today we're learning about bar graphs and we're going to start by looking at the in-focus task. It says, Rabbit draws a picture graph to show the number of fruits in 3 baskets. So I'm going to ask you to look at this picture graph. What data, what information can we get from it? What are we talking about? Are we looking at different types of cars? What are we looking at? That's it. We can see that we are looking at 3 different types of fruit, and the fruit has been represented with a red square, and each square stands for 1 fruit. Are there any other graphs that we can draw in order to show the same information? Pause the video and have a think. That's it. We can use a bar graph instead of a picture graph in order to represent the same information. A bar graph looks like this. I'm going to ask you to pause the video and think about, are there any similarities in between these 2 graphs? Can you find any differences? Pause the video please and think about what is it that you can see in both graphs. Okay, we can see that both graphs are talking about fruits in the basket. So these are oranges, pears and strawberries, and again here I got oranges, pears and strawberries. And both graphs tell us the amount of strawberries, pears and oranges that we've got. Now, what is the main difference? Well done. Here we were using a key or a scale that said each square stands for 1 fruit. And you had to count all the different squares in order to know the amount of fruit. Whereas here, our scale is represented with numbers. That means that we do not need to count all of the squares in order to find out the amount of oranges. We can just look at the bar and at the scale and we can say straight away that there are 8 oranges. We can say straight away that there are 6 pears and that there are 10 strawberries. So that is the main difference, is we're going to be able to get the information for the bar graph a bit quicker. Let's see if you can answer some questions. Which is the largest group of fruit? Remember, the number of fruits can be read from the scale on the left. Which is the largest group of fruit? Well done. We can see that we got 10 strawberries, so the strawberries are the largest group of fruit. And which is the smallest? Easy peasy. Pears. We can see clearly here that we got just 6 pears. Now, can we find how many more the largest group have by looking at the graph? How many more strawberries than oranges are there? What's the difference? What can we do? How many more strawberries than oranges are there? What's the difference? Well done! We know that there are 10 strawberries and 8 oranges, and we can see that there is a difference of 2. 10 take away 8 equals 2, so there is a difference of 2. How many more oranges are there than pears? Have a think. Look at the bar graph. How many more oranges are there than pears? Correct! We know that we've got 8 oranges and 6 pears, and the difference is 1 and 2. 8 oranges take away 6 is 2. So there is a difference of 2 pieces of fruit. Let's have a look at guided practice. Here we've got a bar graph, And we can see that we're looking at information about how we came to school. And the options are train, bus, cycle, car, or walk. And our scale gives us information about the number of pupils. So let's have a look at the questions that you will need to answer in a minute. Pupils in a class were asked how they came to school that day. A. How many pupils walked to school? So you need to look at the bar graph and the scale and see how many pupils walked to school. B. The number of pupils who came by car is something less than the number of pupils who walked. So you will need to find the difference. C. Is Hannah correct? There were more pupils who walked to school than those who did not. So think about the amount of children that walked to school and the amount of children that did not walk to school. So is she correct? Yes, no, and why? D. There were pupils in the class that day. So how many pupils were there in class that day? I'm going to ask you to pause the video, look at the bar graph, and interpret the information to answer the questions. Okay, let's check. So how many pupils walk to school? If we look at the bar graph, we can see that 10 pupils walk to school. So I'm going to write 10. The number of pupils who came by car is something less than the number of pupils who walked. And we say that we need to find the difference. So we can see that 10 children walked to school, and how many did go by car? 8 children. So what's the difference? 10 take away 2. There is a difference of 2. Sorry, 10 take away 8. There is a difference of 2. So the number of pupils who came by car is 2 less than the number of pupils who walked. C. Is Hannah correct? There were more pupils who walked to school than those who did not. Is she correct? Well done. No, because the total of students getting to school who did not walk, so all of these who did not walk, is greater than 10. Last question. There were pupils in the class that day. So how many pupils there were in class all together? That's it. There were 30 pupils in the class that day. Well done, year 3. That's it for today. We would like you to complete pages 65, 66, 67 and 68. You need to look at the different tables and draw a bar graph representing that information. Look carefully at the scale and what is it that you are drawing, because there might be times in which you have to draw a horizontal bar graph and other times in which you might need to draw a vertical bar graph. Give it a go and let us know if you have any questions. For your challenge today, you will need to complete your own bar graph. You need to ask your friends and family to tell you about their favorite color from the choices below and draw it. Make sure you record the information somewhere around your paper so we can see. Please upload this challenge to your portfolios and let us know if you have any questions. Have a fantastic Tuesday and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!